thing. In a remote African village, the moon hung high in the night sky, veiled by a thin layer of cloud. To some, it looked like a man holding an axe. Below, domestic animals ambled back to their shelters, their sounds fading into the growing chorus of nightbirds and chirping crickets. Inside their huts, mothers busily prepared dinner. Fathers sat, lost in thought, replaying the day's events or mulling over village affairs. One such father was Kalu. He was thinking about the great beast, a monster that emerged from the forest to destroy their farms and attack their people. Kalu was not a strong man. His body was frail, thin. He wasn't wondering what he could do, but rather, who could possibly deliver his people from this terrifying creature? Fear gnawed at him. Suddenly, a loud drum echoed through the village. Boom, dot, 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 boom, dot, 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 boom. It was an emergency summons from the king, calling all men to the village square. Kalu scrambled from his home and ran towards the sound. When he arrived, the king stood before the assembled men, his voice ringing with urgency. He declared that any man who could kill the great beast would be rewarded handsomely. Who would marry the king's own daughter and be given a part of the kingdom. A heavy silence fell over the crowd. The men looked at each other, their faces grim. To challenge this animal was to sign your own death warrant. Kalu, with his slender frame, didn't even consider it for a second. He muttered to himself, "What concern is it of the bald-headed vulture to visit the barber?" It was an impossible task, meant for warriors, not for him. With more fear in their hearts than before, everyone returned to their homes. The question hung in the air, a suffocating blanket over the village. Who will save us? As Kalu walked the lonely path back to his hut, he glanced up. The moon remained calm, seemingly unconcerned with the plight below. His own heartbeat thundered in his ears, a drum of pure terror. He felt as if it might leap right out of his chest. And then he heard it, a strange, heavy breathing sound from the bushes beside the path. He froze, listening intently, trying to be sure it wasn't just his own panicked gasps. He peered into the darkness, and two glowing eyes stared back. It was the beast! For a moment, Kalu was completely transfixed, his mind blank, his body paralyzed. The only words he could form were a desperate whisper. "Oh my God, help me!" Pure instinct took over. He bolted, diving behind a large tree for cover. The wave of terror was so intense that he felt a warm wetness spread down his leg. He had wet himself. And it didn't stop there. Overcome by fear, his body betrayed him again. The beast let out a roar and charged toward the tree. Kalu was trapped. His eyes darted around, searching for a weapon, a rock, a stick, anything. But there was nothing. In absolute, primal desperation, he acted without thinking. He reached down, grabbed his own fresh, warm poop, and hurled it with all his might at the charging monster. It was a perfect shot. The foul projectile struck the beast squarely between its glowing eyes. It let out a deafening, agonized cry, staggered for a moment, and then crashed to the ground. It was still dead. Kalu couldn't believe what he was seeing. He peeked from behind the tree, his heart still pounding. He looked again. And again. The great beast, the terror of the village, was truly dead. A surge of adrenaline and disbelief propelled him forward. He ran, faster than he had ever run in his life, all the way to the king's palace. Breathlessly, he told the king what had happened. The king, skeptical but hopeful, dispatched his strongest warriors to the site. They returned minutes later, their faces a mixture of shock and elation. It was true. The beast was dead. Immediately, the village erupted in celebration. The drumming started again, but this time, It was a rhythm of pure joy. The festivities lasted all night long. Phoebe. The next morning, the drums summoned everyone to the village square once more. But today, every face was bright, beaming with smiles. Men and women danced, their feet moving in perfect time with the jubilant beats. And in the center of it all was Kalu. The man once considered feeble was now a hero, a celebrity. Everyone wanted to shake his hand. People he barely knew came forward, eagerly trying to trace a distant family connection, claiming their great-grandparents were related to his. It's true what they say. Success has many friends. The king kept his promise. He proudly gave his daughter's hand in marriage to Kalu, and a portion of the kingdom was given to him as his own. He became a legend, known forever as the man who killed the great beast with nothing but his own poop. Safety and peace were restored to the village. Kalu's story became a testament to the old saying, necessity is truly the mother of invention. What do you think about Kalu's incredible story? Did he get lucky? Or was it a moment of unintended genius? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tale, please hit that like button. It really helps us bring you more stories like this. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.